Hello, my fellow gamers and tax evaders alike. Netflix has kept on its grind of shitting out movies, and one of those recent movies was The Mitchells vs. the Machines. So I decided to give it a watch and see how the movie was. And it was okay. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be honest with you. It was alright. Basically, the movie follows a wacky, dysfunctional family who end up getting a lot more than they bargained for when they go on a road trip to bring the protagonist to college, the daughter of the movie, you know? And then a fucking robot apocalypse happens. Uh-oh. I just finished watching it right before I started writing the script for this video. Man, it was okay. I was terrified, however, by this movie, and that's because it was made by millennials for millennials. The humor was so out of touch, surprisingly, for, you know, being made by millennials. You'd think that they'd be a little more in touch than they are, but they were, like, making references to fucking Facebook memes and YouTube videos from, like, fucking 2008, you know what I mean? Just old shit that's just not funny anymore. It made those scenes really hard to watch. But what really terrifies me about that is that means that millennials are now in the traditional media and creating movies like this. Is that not a scary thought to the rest of you? This movie probably wasn't the first millennial movie, and I guarantee you it's not going to be the last. We're gonna be fucking bombarded with millennial movies for the next 20 years, so buckle your fucking seatbelts, cause shit's about to be unfunny and Facebook tier humor for the next 2 fucking decades. Oh well, my fucking camera decided to die, so now I'm back 15 minutes later after letting it charge for a little bit. Although for you, there was absolutely no break in between that. I don't even know why this is worth mentioning. I should probably cut this from the video, but I'm not going to. Fuck you. Now, the first big sin of this movie occurs around 6 minutes in. The main character's little brother is fucking obsessed with dinosaurs, and I have absolutely nothing but respect for the little rascal for that. That's incredible. He goes so far as to go through the phone book, calling every person and asking if they want to talk about dinosaurs. I've never related more to a character in any Hollywood production. It's absolutely incredible, awesome guy. That is until he makes a horrible, unforgivable accident. He says that velociraptors always hunt in pairs. No! That was just from Jurassic Park. We have no evidence that velociraptors hunted in pairs. It's not a thing that we actually think happened. More than likely, they probably hunted by themselves because we found no direct evidence that they hunted in fucking pairs. We don't have any evidence at all that they hunted in packs whatsoever. We don't even have evidence that they were social animals. It's fucking stupid. This fucking idiot thinks he knows so much about fucking dinosaurs, but he gets all his information from a fucking fictional Hollywood movie. God damn it! Now, the protagonist of this story is a girl who's about to go away to college for film in Los Angeles. Not only do I detest that, but I honestly find it abhorrent that any traditional media movie would push people in the direction of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a hellhole. The last place on earth that I would recommend anybody live. California itself is an abysmal state, and I have no respect for the sad morons who decide to go and move there. It's just embarrassing. So anyway, she's really into making YouTube videos ever since she was a little kid. Sounds familiar. Well, obviously she's just insanely good at it to a level that I think is impossible of someone her age to be. Quite frank, if you look at the editing, it's clearly somebody who's already been to film school editing it, and whatever, it's, you know, it's a movie. I don't fucking care. I'll forgive them for that, because, you know, I guess there is a chance that she could, you know, if she does enough editing, she could just be that good. I'll forgive them for that one. The main issue is that her videos are fucking stupid and unfunny. They're just, like, regurgitated 2008 YouTube videos with kind of a Cyreneck twist. You know, they also all revolve around her stupid fucking pug, which is just ugly as fuck and not even cute in the film, like as an animated character. The whole time I was rooting for the robots to fucking at least take out the worthless dog. It's essentially useless to the plot up until the end of the movie, pretty much. That's the only purpose that it serves throughout the entire movie, just for the ending. Now, the movie definitely did have some pretty goddamn funny parts that were actually cracking me up a little bit. You know, I only remember one scene in particular that actually really cracked me up, though. The rest was all kind of like, haha, that's sort of funny. That's kind of funny. Now, the issue is, the funny scene that really cracked me up was 18 minutes into the movie. So the next hour and a half, or whatever it was just the occasional ha-ha here and there, you know? If you've seen the movie, the one scene is, you know, where they go on the mule tour. There's the mule in the river. That was a pretty fucking funny scene, but I would forgive you for not remembering it because it's just kind of an all-around forgettable movie. That being said, I didn't write this into the script, and I'm not sure why, but I absolutely have to respect the animation for the movie. I thought it was very cool animation. It was very well animated. They clearly put a lot of time and effort into the animation, and it had a unique art style that I thought the eyes were creepy at first, but you kind of get used to it, and it actually works really well. It works definitely for the plot and the type of humor that the movie has, which is abysmal humor, but it still works nonetheless. It's great, and I'll absolutely compliment the movie any day on the awesome art style on it. And I will say also that the voice actor for the dad, Rick Mitchell, was one of the best redeeming qualities about the movie. The actor, his name is Danny McBride. He's been in a couple of things. I haven't really seen him in anything personally, but he absolutely killed it in the role. I thought every scene that he was in where he actually had a line was a lot better, and I feel like he really put a lot of love and attention into his lines. It was great. He was phenomenal as a voice actor for this movie. Now, continuing on with the plot, they end up stopping at like a dinosaur-themed rest stop because that's the little brother's whole thing. He loves dinosaurs. And the little kid does redeem himself a little bit, somewhat in my eyes, in this scene. He, like me, freaks out over the inauthenticity of the dinosaurs at this stupid little exhibit. To me, designing and showing off scientifically inaccurate dinosaurs is nothing less than a sin. I too have panic attacks over seeing inaccurate dinosaurs in any sort of medium. It scares me. It shakes me to my fucking core. But then some little snot-nosed fucking love interest for the little kid comes in and she just fucks everything up. I mean, seriously, Jesus Christ. She walks up to him and has the gall, the audacity to say, yeah, you know, these dinosaurs are kind of inaccurate, aren't they? Shouldn't they all have feathers? No! Although we have found direct evidence that many dinosaurs were feathered, including many raptors, we have no evidence that all dinosaurs had feathers. In fact, we're pretty fucking certain that there were plenty of species of dinosaurs that didn't have feathers. Fucking hell, this movie tried so hard to be smart, but it fell flat on its fucking ass. At several moments throughout this movie, they stopped the flow of an action scene to insert funny, epic, random humor. Like there was this one scene where they're all getting taken away by the robots. Scary, scary action scene. But it pauses to show them all with the funny Snapchat cat filter on them. I have to say, at that scene, I LOL'd out loud at that. It was just some wacky shenanigans that those kids were getting up to on the Snapgrams and the face tubes, whatever it may be. It was so fun to me. And then the robots get into some wacky hijinks, like the hilarious joke that without the internet, society would collapse overnight. The new smartphone overlord, and yes, this movie's villain is a fucking iPhone, she decides to just up and turn the internet off by just flipping a button, which, you know, that hasn't been done before, like in South Park. And of course, suddenly, the entire world melts down because us pesky humans are so addicted to the internet, we can't survive a few fucking hours without it. They managed to round up all humans within the course of like a couple hours just because they turned the internet off, and that was enough to just completely stop us in our tracks. Just that. The plot continues, yada yada, and there's this one scene that really grinded my gears. They find a way that they could possibly stop the machine apocalypse, but it requires leaving where they are, and the dad thinks they should stay. And that makes sense to me, because the dad wants to keep his family safe. Wouldn't you? You're in a fucking apocalyptic scenario where you're the last humans left on Earth. He's thinking about protecting his family. But so the daughter decides to hype him up by reminding him of his past successes and how much they used to have fun together as a family. It's nice. And you actually like the protagonist for a few seconds here, which seems like a great achievement for the writers, who have made their protagonist quite unlikable, in my opinion, up until this point. And then she just tells her younger brother that she just lied about all of it, just to motivate their dad to go on the dangerous journey. She just fucking lies right to his face and then brags about it to her young, impressionable brother like a fucking sociopath. Now, going forward, I didn't know if she was lying about like any of the shit that she was saying when she was conversating with her dad following this. It's a great way to make a character likable, am I right? The plot continues, and it turns out that the robots can't tell if the pug... Yes, remember the pug? Yeah, I know, it's been like a couple minutes since I brought him up. That's because he hasn't been fucking relevant for so long up until this point. But they realize that robots can't tell if the pug is a dog, a pig, or a loaf of bread. just some absolute Facebook tier garbage from like 2015. But honestly, remember that information because it's going to be important in a little bit. They also squeeze in a little bit more millennial appeal by having the family get attacked by evil Furbies in a mall. You know, just to give the fucking retard 30-year-olds watching it a nostalgia boner. Oh, remember Furbies? Weren't they so scary? Wow. It also doesn't make any sense to the fucking plot of the story. In this mall, they've been getting attacked by like haunted fucking appliances, you know, like fucking dishwashers and laundry machines that all have like a chip, a microchip inside of them inserted by the company that made the robots, right? Why are there chips inside of the fucking Furbies? That doesn't make any sense. Am I wrong about this one? Why would fucking 800 Furby toys have a fucking microchip to connect them to your smartphone? What purpose does that serve? It makes no sense. Nothing really interesting happens for a little bit, and we get some more random equals funny humor. They go to the HQ of the robots to take out the smartphone, and then they get captured and shit. You know, the standard movie tropes where they get close to defeating the villain, but the villain has a trick up their sleeve, and it's you know, fucking just capturing them with robots. Wow, that's not what's been happening the entire movie. But then the girl realizes the power that the pug has, which is to short circuit the robots because they think he's a loaf of bread. LOL. Pug look like bread. So funny. She uses this to, like, you know, beat the phone or whatever. You know, good shit. The bad guy's defeated. I desperately wanted that fucking dog to die. I was praying for it, but sadly the fucking dog ended up surviving. But here's the audio of me reacting to the dog almost dying. Oh, rip.
Yes! Yes! The dog's finally gonna die! Yes! Let's go! No! Are you fuck? Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, and I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but near the end of the movie when they're trying to beat this fucking, you know, evil iPhone, there's the scene where the dad, a boomer, tries to use the internet. Hijinks ensue as he accidentally switches the computer's language to Spanish and types out the word dot, D-O-T, after www because he's a dumb old boomer and he doesn't know how computer work. The dude is supposed to be like 45, maybe 50 at the oldest, absolutely pushing it, 55 I would say. There's no fucking chance in hell this guy has never used a fucking computer before, to the point where he doesn't even know how to type in a URL on a web browser. Anyone under the age of fucking 85 can do that. My technologically retarded grandparents can all do that, and that's including my bed-bound grandfather in his fucking 90s. It's so fucking stupid, dude. After the villain is defeated, you know, the world is saved, and the little brother ends up reuniting with the cute little love interest, that little twink. And, you know, she compliments his shirt, which has a T-Rex on it, but she laments the fact that it doesn't have feathers, because a T-Rex having feathers would be more scientifically accurate. Here is my reaction to that when I was watching the movie.
I like your shirt, but I wish that T-Rex had feathers on it to make it more scientifically accurate.
That's not true! That's not true! That's not fucking true! T-Rexes didn't have feathers! Fuck! There's evidence that they had scales! There's evidence that they had scales! Fuck!
I knew that one was gonna piss you
There's
off.
no direct evidence ever found of T-Rexes having feathers!
I'm sorry about your ears. Yeah, I like dinosaurs, okay? Don't fucking be wrong about dinosaurs on my watch, goddammit. I'm there to correct anything that you do. Don't fuck with dinosaurs, okay? Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I want to say about the movie. I mean, you know, they kind of retcon in the daughter, the protagonist being gay at the end of the movie, I assume just for some extra diversity points. But it's not really a problem at all. It's just kind of unnecessary to the plot. Like, her ending up in a relationship at all served no purpose to the plot in any way. Like, whether it was a gay relationship or a straight relationship, doesn't matter. It was just irrelevant. Overall, movie was okay. Guess it's a decent kids film. I would give it a solid 6 out of 10. You know, the animation's great. The story itself is pretty solid. The acting is great, you know. Overall, 6 out of 10. Could have been written better, could have been funnier. You know, that's pretty much it about the movie, though. Thank you guys for watching.